I'll introduce myself really quick. If we have never met, I am Julie Ordonez. Hello, and I am so happy that you are here. How to raise $250,000 by Christmas. This is going to be a workshop, which means you will be working. So we are going to work in this next hour, and I am asking you for your full attention. I'm going to give you my very best, and I am asking you to return that and give your very, very best. Put your phone, chunk it into the other room, okay? You ain't where but here, honey. Let's do this. Um, be fully present, okay? Because I'm going to be sharing a lot of really great stuff with you, and this is a workshop. You will be getting actionable tips that you can take right away. So I'm Julie Ordonez. I am an executive fundraising coach based in Los Angeles. It is so great to have you here. Thank you for joining me. I know this is a busy time, and we're all sick of Zoom. It's not just me. Okay. Um, and I have been in fundraising and nonprofit management for well over a decade, and I love major gifts. That is my specialty. I'm a former major gifts officer. I spent 4 years at United Way of Greater Los Angeles. I raised millions there. I had a ton of fun. I met a lot of people. I went on, I would say, on average, 5 to 6 donor meetings a week for nearly 4 years, not including special events, galas, happy hours. So I have been doing this for a long time. I have a lot of reps in. I've asked people for 6 and 7 figure gifts. I've coached executives, CEOs, and EDs to do the same thing. My clients have raised 10 million cumulatively, about 2 dozen clients over the last 3 years since 2018. That's on average, my client raises $400,000. So I've been doing this for a long time. This is my wheelhouse. And I'm going to be sharing the goods with you today. You ready? Hi, Chantal. You are in NYC. I love New York. I was there last month and I loved it. I love New York. You're in Quito, Madeline. Good to see you. You're in Ecuador. Amazing. Hi, Amanda. Welcome, Boise. Amazing. Hi, Claire. Good to see you, my friend. Hi, Jamie, the CEO, ED, and co-founder of Faraway Friends in Denver, Colorado. Beautiful. So that's me. Here's how this is going to work. This is a workshop. You will be working, okay? I want you to get out your notepad and paper. You are going to be taking notes. There will not be any slides. I don't have slides today. I'm going to be talking you through these steps, creating a strategy and a roadmap for you of how to get to 250K from individuals by Christmas, okay? I am all about taking action. So it's going to be very action oriented. If you're familiar with the Strengths Finder, I have Activator as my number 1 and Achiever as my number 2. So I want you to hold your questions that you have till the very end. I'm going to spend at least 20 minutes doing a Q&A at the very end, okay? The reason for that being, I may answer your question during when I'm teaching, all right? Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Kelly. Good to see y'all. Vegas, Washington, D.C. Hi, Tina from Phoenix. Amazing. So glad you're here. If you are here, introduce yourself. Let me know where you're joining from, your title, your organization. And I also want to know, what is your fundraising goal for the end of the year? What's your fundraising goal? How much are you trying to raise by the end of the year? You're the swan that I want. That's amazing. Oh, hi, Darcy. Yes, so good to see you. Thanks for joining, friend. So you're going to take notes. Yes, you're going to be fully present. And hold your questions till the end. And that's pretty much it. So let's jump in. You ready? So I want to know what your goal is. I put goal and then the number amount in the comments here. This is going to be participatory. So I want to see your comments. I can see them and I'm going to respond to them. So put what your goal is and the number amount so that I can see that. Chantal's goal is 100K. That's great. I'm going to be sharing a roadmap for you based on, let's say that your goal is 250,000, but obviously you can extrapolate that with what I share towards whatever your specific goal is, but it's really important that you know what you're aiming for, right? If you're trying to hit something, you got to know what you're aiming at. Hi, Iram. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, $350,000 is a fantastic goal for you, and I have zero doubt that you will exceed that. Claire's goal is 100K. Martha's goal is 100K. Sarah's goal is 250. Hi, Akili. Good to see you. Your goal is 20,000. Stephanie's 50K. Kelly is 30K with a board match of 15. I like that. Jamie's goal is 40,000. Last year you did 30. Excellent. Emmeline, what a beautiful name. Your goal is 150,000. Excellent. So now I want you to put in the chat, what is the largest gift that you have clearly asked an individual for? Not a foundation, not submitting a grant application. I want to know what is the largest gift, and you're going to put largest gift, the amount, okay? So what's the largest gift that you have asked for from an individual? I want to see that. So if you're putting your goal, I want to see you put goal this number. What is your largest gift? If it's 15,000, put that. If it's 10,000, put that. If you've never clearly directly asked someone for a specific amount, then let me know that too. I want to see that. Chantal, the largest gift is 1,000. Great. Largest gift is 50 for Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Yep. 15, 15, 2,000. Yes. What is the question is, what's the largest gift you clearly asked an individual for? So meaning straight up, you've asked them, would you consider giving $15,000 this year? Right? That's an example of what I'm talking about. Yeah. 10,000, 10,000, 30,000. Tina's asked for 3 million. Really? From an individual. That's amazing. Yeah, I hear you, Abby. That's great. You're new. You're in the right spot. 10K, 10K, 5K. Hi, Amanda. Good to see you. Congrats, Jill. Largest you've asked for is 100K, and it was a yes. Yes, Iram asked for 1 million over 3 years. Damn right you did. Because you're a courageous leader, Iram. I love it. Okay, excellent. So we're gonna start with the roadmap, okay? The mindset pieces that you need in order to be successful at the strategy that I'm going to share with you, okay? Number one, you need to have faith in your donors. When people tell you, I love what you do, I believe in you as a leader, you inspire me, I'd love to help out, you need to believe them. Something that we do as nonprofit leaders, and I don't want you to judge yourself for this, it's pretty normal, is we're like, oh, they're just being nice. Oh, they don't mean that. Oh, that's really kind of you to say. And in our minds, we just think that they're kind of lying, And I don't want you to do that. So if you're gonna meet these goals that you've set here, you've said, I want to raise 50K, I want to raise 100K, I want to raise $350,000. You need to have faith in your donors that what they've told you in the past is true. Okay? So if you do that, if you talk yourself out of what people tell you, I want you to put the letter A. Like, yes, that resonates with me. A. If this doesn't resonate, if you're like, I don't really have a problem having faith in my donors, then put B in the comments right here. I want to see. Are you A or B? Is it something that you struggle with when people say, I believe in what you're doing. I want to help out. I want to be a part of it. Let me know what you need, right? Some people say that. If it's difficult for you to believe them, put A in the comments. If it's not, put B. Yeah, Amanda says B. I'm seeing A's, lots of A's. Yeah. It's a mixed bag. Great. Now, it's good for you to notice if this is something that you struggle with, then you're going to need to reinforce this faith in your donor and take them for what they're saying as true and real, right? So that's a big mindset piece. The other one is it's going to take guts to raise six-figure gifts, right? Larger gifts than you ever raised. If the largest amount you've ever asked for is 10 grand and you're trying to get to 100 grand, guess what? You're going to have to ask for more than 50, right? You're going to have to ask for your largest amount, more than your largest amount. And it's going to take courage to do that. And here's the mindset piece. I do not want you to expect to feel courageous. Courage is not a feeling. There are people who believe, oh, well, I don't feel courageous. I don't feel encouraged, so I must not be. Honey, that ain't how it works, okay? There are people who are courageous and there are people who are cowards. And they both feel the same things. They both feel the fear. So feeling the fear is normal and it's okay, and it's not something to judge yourself for. The difference between someone who's a coward and some who allows fear to stop them and someone who is courageous is that the courageous person has the same feelings a coward does. The courageous person takes action anyway. Courage is about taking action even when you are afraid, right? If there is no fear, there is no courage. So I want you to dispel this belief that you're going to feel excited and motivated and fearless when you're asking for these gifts. No, you aren't. Don't expect that. It's all good. You're going to be afraid and you're going to survive it. You have survived feeling uncomfortable, feeling discomfort, feeling awkwardness, feeling fear many times in your life before. You made it through. You're going to make it through again, honey. So do not let the feelings of fear stop you and make you believe that you must not be cut out for this or that you are not courageous. That is a lie. Courageous people feel fear just as much as cowards do. They just don't allow it to stop them. Do you hear what I'm saying? I want you to put yes in the comments. Yes, Julie, I hear you. Say yes. Courage is not a feeling. Courage is about action. It is about putting other people and your mission and your why, remembering your why. That's right. Jess says church with Julie, you damn straight. You know me, Jess. You know me. Courage is not a feeling. So don't expect to feel it. Okay? And if you're waiting on that, you'll wait till kingdom come. It ain't happening. I know you heard it. And you're not alone. So I don't want you to waste your energy judging yourself, right? For being afraid. Stop that. Everybody's afraid. Even the people you think are fearless, they just take action anyway. They do. That's it. Yes, Julie, I hear you. I know you do, Rhonda. Great to see you, my friend. So, you ready for your roadmap? There are a lot of... Now get ready. We're going to be taking notes. Yes, Amanda, I completely agree. Whether or not you get a yes or you raise the money, it does feel good. You feel relieved. You feel powerful. That's when you feel more courageous, when you've taken the action, right? Not when you're thinking about it. So, $250,000, let's say that's your goal because that's the name of this talk. There are a lot of ways to get to $250,000. The first thing you need to do is you need to create your roadmap. Create your roadmap. Write that down. You are going to determine how would you like to get, what is it going to take for you to get to $250,000? Now, there are many ways to get there. That's 25 people giving 10 grand. 25 people giving 10 grand. That's 20 donors giving 12,500. Okay? That's 10 people giving 25,000. That's 5 people giving 50K. That's 2 people giving 125, or my personal favorite, 1 donor giving $250,000. Now, the way that you're going to get there is I want you right now in your notes that you're taking, I want you to write down the names of the people who come to mind that are in your donor base, who are already donors, or maybe they're volunteers. And I want you to think of the people who are the most passionate, who have the greatest passion and the greatest capacity, meaning they have the potential to give $10,000 and above. All right. When I say major gift, that's what I mean. So right now, this is not hypothetical. This is not wait till later. This is a workshop. We're doing it right now. Get out your notes. Write down the names of the people who you think are going to help you get to $250,000. Are you doing it? Say yes. Please put it in the chat, in the comments. Yes. I want to know that you're with me. Because we're gonna get it done, okay? You're gonna exceed your goal. I am in your corner. We're going to get it done today. We are. You let me know. Who are the people who you know of who are going to help you get to $250,000? Write down their names. So it's probably going to be between 10 to 20-ish people, all right? I don't want you to focus on any more than 20, 25 people. I don't want you to have a list longer than that. I would start with current donors, Amanda. If they're not a donor yet, then someone who is a high-level volunteer, somebody who has been a loyal volunteer, maybe they've given you $25 or $100 in the past, doesn't matter. I would think about those people too. Anybody who's given you pro bono hours in volunteerism. Oh, that's great, Tina. Okay. You got your roadmap. Good. So then you know how you're going to get there. So this list of people are going to become the people who you put on your calendar, right? So these names all become appointments on your calendar. And you're going to schedule time to reach out to them. So let's say that you've got a list of 30 donors, right? That's long, but if it's 30, there are 9 weeks until the week of Christmas, including this week. So that's 3 weeks, 3 weeks, and 3 weeks, right? It's 3 chunks of 3 weeks between now and Christmas. So I want you to break it down. If you've got 30 people, then within this week and the next 2 weeks, the first 3 weeks, you're going to reach out to all 30 people. That's roughly 10 donors a week, right? Which is 2 donors a day. So these people who you're writing down their names, you're going to reach out to them and request a meeting. One-on-one meetings. That's how you're going to raise this money. Some of them you can decide. I think we should meet over Zoom. I have more of a relationship with this person. I'm going to ask them for one of the larger gifts towards $250,000. So I think it's important that I meet with them over Zoom or that I meet with them in person. If you're in an area in the world where people are meeting in person right now, then great, do that. If you've got somebody who you think you could just call on the phone, I want you to look at your list, and then I want you to pull up in your CRM or your donor database, did these people give in Q4? Meaning, have they given in the past, last year, the year before, in October, November, December? When do they typically like to give? And you're going to keep that in mind. So that's part of the strategy, right? And create your list of people. So tell me here in the comments, how many people are on your list that you wrote down do you think are likely to get you to your goal of $250,000? How many people are on your list? Give me a number. Rochelle's got a small list. That's all good. That's great. How many people are on your list? I think there's probably a lag with the comments, so I'm sorry about that. How many people have you got? Rhonda says 15. Chantal says 12. Great. So I see some questions in here and I want you to hold them till the end, okay? Because I may answer them. 5, 10, 10, 5, 10, 11. Great. Okay. 20. Claire has 20. Kelly has 20. Iram has 53. I know, because you're working, I know, you're working hard, Iram. You are. Jess says, yes, there's 15 to 30-second delays. Yeah. You would think that Facebook would figure that out by now, huh? You would think. That's great. These are great numbers. So, in order to meet your goal, here's what you're going to need to do. You're going to straight up need to ask people to give. You're going to be clear and direct, and that may be very uncomfortable for you. That may be not very normal. But the strategy needs to be, these are the people that I'm going to focus on. You gave me the number here. So these are the people that I'm going to focus on to get me to that goal. And do some research on them, right? So do a little research. Don't spend more than 5 minutes on each donor. And this is something that I do with my clients, is I do the research for them on their top donors. It really gives a lot of insight. I had a client yesterday who tuned in and said that, I think she's tuning in here. She said that she did some Googling of her donor and found out that they invented something to do with they have some kind of barbecue patent. Which, hello, have you ever been to a barbecue? Google your donors and you'll find out more about them, about their business, about the success that they've had. It will kind of give you a better sense of what their capacity might be, right? So you're not going into it blind. When you're creating this list of donors, I don't want you to just think about their capacity, their wallet, right? What their net worth is and what they can financially give. I want you to think about, who would you enjoy reaching out to? Who do you really like that is in your donor base? And if you don't really have relationships, now is a great time to start to get to know people. Ask for a meeting. Reach out to the people who you wrote down on your list and say, hey, I'd really love to set up a 20-minute call with you to get to know you better, to understand what you do and learn more about your business. When do you have 20 minutes? Here's a link to my calendar, and set up a free Calendly or any other, calendar app that automates that for you. And ask for a meeting. And in that meeting, you are going to practice just having a great conversation with someone. And the law of reciprocity will come into play. You're asking questions about them. Hey, I'm curious about this, I'm curious about that, about your life. And then they'll say, well, what about you, Kelly? What about you, Akili? What is it that, you've got going on? That's when you can share, yeah, I work for this really great organization. I've been here for a couple of years now. My role is to really build relationships with donors and supporters, and I love it. Can I share more about what we do? Yeah, sure, why not? I'd love to hear it. Okay, great. You can share a couple bullet points. Don't throw up a bunch of information on them that they may or may not want to know. And you can ask the question, how do you see yourself being involved? How would you like to be involved? Would you consider giving this giving season? You can ask any of these questions. You need to be clear and direct. You're on a mission, right? You're not here to just hang out with people and get coffee. It isn't just about that. You are building relationships and you're also raising money. So be straight up. When you're asking for an amount, when you're meeting with someone who is a current donor and you're asking them to give again or to increase their gift, right? You need to be clear and direct. You need to ask them, last year you gave $5,000. This year, would you consider giving $10,000? I don't think this should be done over email, okay? So get on the phone. Yes, yes, I said phone. Remember those when we used them to talk to people? And, or get on a Zoom call, meet in person. So you need to have one-on-one meetings with these people, and you wrote your list down. You needed to make decisions. Who am I going to meet with? Who am I going to call on the phone? And get those meetings scheduled within the next 3 weeks. Within the next 2 weeks. If you've got 20 people on your list, then that's 10 people a week, right? It's not too much. I want you to focus on these people to help you get to your goal. And then after you ask them, you're going to engage, right? So you're going to send them personalized communication touch points at least once a week. Hey, I saw this article and I thought of you. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite podcast episode that I've been listening to. You can send a note of gratitude. You can send a handwritten note in the mail, one of my favorites. Just ask for their mailing address and say, hey, I'd love to send this to you. If you are, connecting with them on social media, send them a voice memo or send them a quick little 30-second personalized video. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, right? It could be as simple as you just building a relationship with these people in the way that you build relationships. You get to be yourself. You get to show up and just build relationships the way that you would. So, are there people on your list here who you are curious about or you are excited about? I want you to say yes in the comments here. If there's people who you feel like, I'm not really excited to meet with them, I want you to say meh in the comments. Meh. I'm not super curious. I'm not super excited to meet with them. I'm kind of not really excited about this right now. Let me know where you're at with that. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. This is great. Akili, Jill, Chantal, they say yes. Wonderful. Yeah, and yes and meh. So again, this goes back to having faith in your donors. If they've given to you before, then ask yourself, what else do they need to prove that they believe in what you're doing? What else do they need to do to prove that they believe in what you're doing, right? They could give their money anywhere. They could, there's probably other people, other organizations that do what you do that are similar. But they give to you. They give to your organization. So there is something there for them. I want you in your strategy to really follow your joy and what you will enjoy doing. Follow the affection you feel towards these donors and start on your list, on your roadmap, with the people who you actually enjoy and the ones who are a yes, the ones that you're looking forward to talking to. Call them up first. Say, hey, I know that you typically give in December. I want you to call these people in the next 2 weeks, all right? Do not wait until Giving Tuesday. Do not wait until after Thanksgiving. It's too late. Do you know how the people who give to your organization, they give to other organizations as well. They are making giving decisions about how much they're going to give away and to whom. And the later that you wait, the lower it's likely you will be in their giving priority. And so you want to reach out to them first and say, hey, I'd love to talk to you about your giving this year. I know that you typically give in December or you give at the end of the year, you make a gift. I'd love to talk to you about the difference that you've made and our vision for the future. Are you catching this? Because I'm telling you exactly what to say that's going to get you a meeting. The emails that you're sending to get these meetings need to be short and sweet and to the point. What you hope to share in the meeting, do not put in the email, okay? I just want you to ask for a 20-minute meeting and get it on the calendar. Or some of these people, you don't need to schedule it. You just need to call them. If they've been a long-time donor, just give them a call. Touch base with them. Talk to them. If there are people that you're not really excited about, then don't start there, right? Start with the people who you are excited about, and that will help you to build momentum and energy towards the people who you're not so excited about. If you're not so excited about them, wait, say that again. Oh, Chantal, what'd I tell you? You got to be taking notes. There ain't no slides, Chantal. I'll say it again. Yeah, so you're going to reach out to them and you're going to ask specifically, hey, I know that you typically make a gift this time of year or in December or whenever it is. The more specific you can get, the better. I'd love to meet with you for 20 minutes to talk about the difference that you've made in your previous giving, or talk to you about the lives that you've helped to change, and share our vision for the future. Right? So, and in that meeting, you're going to do that. You're going to say, here are the 3 main wins that we've had in the last year. Here are some of the challenges and what we're doing about it. And here's our vision. Our goal is to house 50,000 people in the next 5 years. I'd love for you to be a part of that. I know that last year you gave $5,000. Would you consider giving $10,000 this year? And then you shut your mouth and you wait for them to respond. And they'll say, well, Chantal, I really appreciate you reaching out. They'll say any number of things. Yeah, I think we can do 10,000, or you know what? I need to talk to my spouse or my partner, my business manager, my accountant, or whoever, and get back to you. So that's how you make the ask. But you've got to do that. You've got to be clear and direct, and you've got to ask. And then engage, follow up. So when you ask, I want you to get it in writing. Whatever they say to you in response, let me think about it. Okay, great. So then you're going to think about it. I will follow up with you this time next week to hear what you've decided. That's what you're going to say. I'll follow up with you this time next week and see what you've decided. Then you're going to go and write up an email and say, thank you so much for meeting with me. I love what you said about blah, blah, blah. Just demonstrate to them that you were listening, right? I'm grateful for your consideration in giving $10,000 this year. I will follow up with you this time next week to see what you've decided. In that moment, you are going to put it on your calendar as a calendar meeting with yourself, at least 15 minutes for you to pick up the phone and call that person and say, hey, Tina, I'm following up. Last week we met, we talked about you giving $10,000. Is that something that you're willing to do this year? You know what? We talked about it. Yes, let's do it. Okay, great. So I'm gonna, how would you like to give that gift, right? Get everything in writing. Get it all in writing. And then guess what? You're gonna get it in writing again. You're gonna email them and you're gonna say, amazing to talk to you. You agreed to give $10,000 by the end of the year. Let me know when you plan to make that gift. right? Or you could say, I will follow up with you again in a week. Or they'll say, yeah, I'm gonna give, a gift of stock. I'm gonna give over a credit card or whatever it is, right? But you need to be clear and direct. You need to ask for the donation, ask for the gift, and you need to follow up and get it in writing. So that's how you're going to get to your goal. And follow the joy. Choose to get curious about people. If you believe that you already know them and you believe that you know the answers to why they give, or you believe, then don't meet with them. What's the point of meeting with them? Like you already know everything, so there's no need to meet, right? Like you don't know everything. That's the truth. You could, another strategy, another way to do it is you could say, hey, last year you gave, $1,000, or you could ask for a percentage increase, right? So this I recommend really for your mailing list and for smaller donors, where you segment your list. You're like, okay, these people, I'm just going to ask them for 30% more than they gave the year before. That's what I help my clients to do. And that's great. Even if half of those people say yes to 30% more, then that's a big win from just, one or two emails. But everybody else, the people who you created on your list, that's your roadmap to get to your goal. And everything else is icing. Kelly says all of this will be occurring while also working on our annual 5K that happens November 20th. So I want you to reframe that and look at it as the 5K is an opportunity to have another touch point with the people on your list. We can get overwhelmed by the fact that we have 3,000 people on our mailing list. We have all these social media followers. Shouldn't we be activating them to give? We have we have this event that we have to do. No. You have your goal, your fundraising goal, which you said was 100K or 50K or 250K, whatever your goal is. And you wrote down a list of people. I've got 10 people, I've got 12 people, I've got 15, I've got 20, I've got 7, however many it is. Those are the people that you're really going to focus on to get to your goal. I understand you have an event. We all have events, right? Allow the event to be another touch point for those people, and then let go of everything else. Let go of your expectation that you've got to go somehow above and beyond and connect with all the 500 people who are coming to your 5K. Forget that. You wrote your list of the number of people who you're going to connect with, right? Who you're focused on for the next 9 weeks. So focus on those people. And again, like I said at the beginning, put their names as appointments on your calendar. And if there are things that you're doing on your calendar, meetings that you're having that are pointless, then get rid of them. Eliminate the things that aren't working, because this is going to work. These people are going to give if you ask them. And I want you to get out in front of it before they end up giving you exactly what they gave last year, or nothing because somebody else reached out to them first, right? So I want to avoid that from happening. So in the next 9 weeks, these first 3 weeks, you're going to reach out to everybody and ask for a meeting. The next 3 weeks, you're going to do all the meetings, make all the asks. And then the last 3 weeks, you're going to close the gifts. You're going to say, hey, and that's a lot of follow-up. Get things in writing, call them up again, and basically make the ask again. That's how you close. Hey, so we talked last 2 weeks ago. I asked you for $10,000. You said you would think about it. It's been 2 weeks. What have you decided? You need to be that clear and direct, straight up. And they'll tell you, oh, I need more time. Okay, well, and then people make decisions based on deadlines. So then you'll say, okay, well, I am finalizing my outreach plan for the rest of the year. So I'm looking to have a sense of what our top givers are giving before Thanksgiving. So I will follow up with you again by then, right? And then you know what I'm going to say. Get it in writing. Put it in an email again. Hey, great to talk to you again. And say, I plan on following up with you. Expect to hear from me, before Thanksgiving about what you've decided. Because the reason that is important is because if someone decides to give $10,000 or not, does it not change the outreach that you will do? Yeah. It's like, okay, that's 10K down, and now I have 240 to go. Great. But if they say, actually, we can only do 5, that changes things for you, doesn't it? So just be straight up with your donors and say, hey, I need to know what your plan is. You could even just email them and say, what is your plan for your giving this year? I would make it as personalized as possible. Show gratitude, engage with them as a human being, build relationships. Have fun doing it. Be yourself. Do it in the way that you want. And follow your affection, follow your joy. Start with the people who you enjoy talking to, you're curious to learn more about. You think you believe that they're on your team. They're good people, right? You want to talk to them. Start with them. Yeah, you do. You do need to stay focused. There's going to be lots of distractions. That's life. This is leadership, right? We have to keep the main thing the main thing. You said that you wanted to raise $100,000 and you wrote down the number of people that are going to help you get there. So it's your job to stay focused on that and get it done. All right, so now we're going to move into Q&A. I gave you a lot of script. I gave you a roadmap on how to get there, what exactly to say. So I want to hear your questions now. If you've had questions previously that I did not answer, now is the time to put them in the comments, okay? So what are your questions related to major gifts, related to getting to your goal? Do you believe that you will achieve your goal? Yes, meh, no. Put it in the comment. Do you believe that you will be able to achieve your goal? Do you really want to say that you're finalizing your outreach plan to your donors? They don't care about your plan. I mean, maybe, maybe not, but you're just providing a reason as to why you're giving them a specific deadline. Hey, I'm planning my outreach. Our goal is to raise this, as you know, for the end of the year, X amount, right? Our goal is to raise X amount. So I'd really love to know what your plan is before Thanksgiving. Just let them know. Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Jeanette says maybe. I love the honesty. Love the script. Question is, I have a donor who came in with an easy gift for her. Her family has a large foundation and she had the check sent from the foundation. Do I approach her as a foundation or an individual? I don't know what that means. She is an individual. She has a foundation. I don't know what the difference would be. You would reach out to her because she's the one who's running the foundation. I mean, she's your point of contact for the foundation. So, wow, based on this roadmap, I'm adjusting the goal to 100,000. Fantastic. I think that's really powerful because something to keep in mind is you can have your internal goals, right? But when you engage with people and they're truly passionate about what you do, they believe in what you do, and you know that they're on your team, they may end up giving above and beyond what your own goal is. So when you actually take the time to get to know people, you ask them questions like, why do you give to us? You could give anywhere. What is it about our mission that makes you want to give? When you really listen to people, they'll tell you, and that information will allow you to move forward with clarity and with boldness, because then you understand this is a point of passion for them. This is not simply about a tax deduction. Those people have the capacity in their heart to give above and beyond, and your goals may become completely irrelevant. You may be able to raise far above and beyond what you would originally have asked them for, because you're getting to know them as a human being and you're understanding what makes them tick. Is this making sense? So I don't want you to have your mind made up about your donor before you walk in. I want you to choose to be curious about people and ask them questions, because the people who listen the longest learn the most. You hear the things that other people aren't able to hear because you're actually asking questions. You will uncover beauty and passion inside of your donors. Passion, the definition of passion is, I know what you would be willing to sacrifice for. I know what you're passionate about based on what you would be willing to sacrifice for. If your donor says, this is my passion, you could say, oh, well, what I hear you say is, this is something you would be willing to sacrifice for. And they'd say, oh, yeah. Hello? Don't you dare ask them for the same amount that they gave last time. Say, okay, well, based on the fact that this is your passion, what would be an investment level gift that you would consider giving? Would you consider giving above and beyond what you've ever given in the past? You as the fundraiser are leading them towards their best giving. Yeah, you can ask for multi-year gifts. My clients ask for multi-year gifts. Would you consider giving $30,000 for the next 3 years? I have clients here today who have gotten those kinds of gifts for sure. You would only ask that of people who you have a relationship with and who have been giving for a while, I think. Claire says, what do you think about matching gifts? Should we ask any of these large donors to matching gift to motivate the smaller end of year givers? Why not? I think it's great. People love matching gifts. You just need to market the hell out of it. So you need to email your list. You need to, hey, every dollar is matched dollar for dollar up to $50,000 or whatever it is until this deadline. It really is a marketing play. So you got to push that and talk about it every single day till you're blue in the face. There's a lot of ways to get to 100K. If you want to ask one person for $50,000 and then use that as a matching gift and then email the shit out of your list, then go for it. I personally find that to be exhausting. So I would rather talk to 5 people and try to get to $100,000 than email and badger my mailing list and my social media followers every single day about a matching donation. Or you could do both. And then all of the matching gifts are just, cream. They're just icing. But it's about capacity, and it's about what you actually want to do. Like, what do you want to do, Claire? What do you want? Do you want to do that? Do you want to do a matching gift and then do everything that it takes to activate a match? It's up to you, right? I mean, the strategy that's going to be best is the one that you'll actually do. So Chantal says, We have a small organization. I'm the only staff member to date. I haven't been able to engage with donors in this way. Is it appropriate to still reach out? Also, should we scale down our goal since it will only be me working on this as ED wearing many hats? Okay. Yeah. So Chantal, when you reach out to people, you've got to raise money. Okay. So you've got to reach out at some point, and now is the best time. There's no time like the present. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to reach out to people and you're going to say, hey, um, hey, Claire, right? The donor's name is Claire. You have been giving for the last 6 years, faithfully, loyally. You've been a donor for 6 years, and we are so appreciative of your dedication and your generosity, right? I want you to affirm the things that are about their character, what you see in them. Somebody giving for 6 years or for 2 years even straight is a great thing. And then you're going to say, I have not done the best job, just own it. I've not done the best job of building relationships with our most loyal donors. And that's going to change moving forward. Moving forward, you're going to hear from me more often. And I would love 20 minutes of your time to share with you the difference that you've made, how you've helped to change lives, and talk about my vision for the future, and honestly get to know you better because, I haven't prioritized building relationships in the way that I would have liked. And so that's going to be different moving forward. And when is a good time in the next week to hop on the phone for 20 minutes so that I can just get to know you a little bit better and share with you the difference that you've made, right? I just gave you a script for what to put in that email. If it's an email that basically says, essentially, like, I'm humbling myself, I'm admitting that we haven't done the best job, but that I want to do better moving forward, and I'd love to get to know you better, that is an email that is highly likely to get a reply, and you're highly likely to get a meeting. Now, are you willing to humble yourself and own the fact, whether or not it's your fault, whether or not you inherited this situation, whether or not you've had a 5K, you've had all these competing priorities, we've been working through a pandemic, you've had your own personal crises. I get it. I get it. You don't need to explain why you've taken these donors for granted. You don't need to do that. It's all good. You do need to take ownership for it. Humble yourself, take ownership of the fact, and just acknowledge the awkwardness. That's what you need to do with these donors. And I know there are some of you out there who you're like, I don't know these people and they don't know me. This is awkward. Why am I going to ask them for money straight up? Guess what? You need to acknowledge the awkward. You need to say, hey, I'm Chantal. I'm the new ED. I've been in this role for a year or whatever. Maybe you've been in the role for 4 years. You just need to admit it. Admit that you haven't prioritized your donors, and they know. It's not a shock to them. This is not a surprise to them. They're not like, oh, wow, yeah. If it's no problem being humble at all, then absolutely reach out and say, you know what? We haven't done the best job of letting you know how you've helped to change lives. And that's going to change. And I would love the chance to get to know you better and get on a call. That's how you do it. And then in a few weeks, right, or even on that meeting, you can say, I know that you typically give in December. Do you plan to give again? Any moment that you feel awkward, you're like, this is going to be awkward. Just acknowledge the awkward. Just say, hey, I know that you and I haven't really gotten to know each other, or you're not used to hearing from me. I'm reaching out because it's the end of the year and I know that you typically like to give at the end of the year, and I would love the chance to get to know you better. Expect to hear from me more often. It's a big part of my role and it's a top priority for me moving forward to build relationships with our donors. Just say it, right? Be clear, be direct, be straight up. Yeah, you're right. The scripts that I'm giving you right now, they always work. My clients raise a lot of money and they always get responses to their emails because the customized communication system that I help them to build kicks ass and raises a lot of money in weeks and months. It doesn't take years and years and years to raise these investment level gifts because we're building a communication system that works for you, that feels authentic to you, that leverages your strengths, your unique strengths, and the way that you communicate with donors, the way that you personally build relationships with people. And you get to reach out to the people that you want to talk to. And look, if you think somebody's a jerk or they're, you know, they have harassed you in the past, please forget them. Okay? I don't I don't want you to have to deal with that, and you don't have to. There are other people out there who will give. They will give again. They will give more. And you need to stay focused. Where there is a lack of focus, there is a lack of funding. Okay? Remember that. You need to fiercely protect your focus. You wrote down the number of donors who are on your list. Those are the people you need to focus on. Start your week every Monday looking at those people, looking at that list. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Send them interesting articles. Engage with them. Share what you've been up to lately. Share a win. If you get a gift, if you get a donation, if there's good news, share the good news. Share an encouraging story. I hope that this is helpful. So we just have a couple minutes left. Are there any questions? Any other questions? But that's pretty much all that I've got, and I'm happy to answer more questions. If you are not on my mailing list, you need to get on it. I share practical tips and tricks that help people raise mid five-figure gifts just from my emails alone, okay? So if you're not on my list, you need to go to julieordonez.com/list. I put that in the comments, and you need to sign up for my mailing list. And I also have a couple of ways that you can work with me. If you're writing your donor list of 12 donors who are going to help you get to 100K, and you want a strategic planning session with me where I can do some research for you on those donors, and then we come up with a plan for what you're going to ask them for, when, specific messaging and scripts for your emails, for your calls, for your meetings, creating a meeting outline. If you want help with that, I have 5 spots open for one-on-one strategic planning sessions within the next 2 weeks. So if that's you, if you're interested, then just put "I'm interested" in the comments, and we'll follow up with you. My assistant Lizzie is in here too. She's been helping out. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would love to help you. If not, totally cool. I just have 5 spots available open for that within the next 2 weeks. And you can have your entire plan mapped out, what you're going to say, when, who to prioritize, and I'll do some research for you. It's really fun for me to do. I love this stuff. So as you can see, I've been doing it for a long time. Yeah. So the last thing I'll say to you is I don't want you to feel like you have to reach out to people who you really don't enjoy talking to. You know, you're just kind of like, eh. I want you to focus on the people who you're curious about. You enjoy them. You're excited to talk to them. And lead them towards giving their best gift. Okay, this is a leadership role that you are in, and I want you to own your leadership in your donor's life. Do you hear me? Oh, thank you, Claire. Claire is amazing. Yeah, it's true. All of my clients have not been trained previously in major gifts or in formally in fundraising, really. They just had a level of success because of they're relationally intelligent, they love people, they're ambitious, and they're executives. And when we work together, we get some training, some best practices, some mindset work, some strategy together. We create a proven communication system that works. And it's a lot of fun. So if you're interested, let me know. Yeah, so let me know which option you think you're interested in. If you just want a strategic thought partner for just a kick-ass 3-hour session where we go through your donor list, there's some prep work that's done in advance of that, so that you can really have a customized plan for how to get to your goal. I'm happy to help with that with some research, talking through ask amounts and timing and messaging. That's really what that 3-hour strategic session is for. The other option that I can help you with is working one on one over the course of 3 months. So, and that's more expensive, but you raise a hell of a lot more money because you have me as your coach working with you one on one, week over week, crafting all of your messaging, helping you with marketing collateral, helping you create your strategic plan, your engagement plan. So, thank you, Jill. I'm so glad you love my emails. I love them too. I love to write them. Um, Wonderful. Right on. Thank you, Sarah. That's so kind of you to say that. I really believe in you, friend. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. And yeah, so which one has your formulated spreadsheets? So the they both do. The one-on-one work has all of my tools and templates. The strategic planning session, the 3-hour intensive, gives you my projections sheet that helps you create a whole plan and a roadmap to get to your goal. So the answer is both. Yeah. Thanks, Amanda. That's very kind. If you have more questions, or if you're watching the replay, then let me know, put them in here, and I'll come back and answer them. The best way to interact with me is on LinkedIn. Follow me there. Follow me on Instagram. I share a lot of tips and advice on Instagram and on LinkedIn. Honestly, I love being there. Get on my mailing list. I share even more in-depth strategy and actionable advice in my mailing list and what offers to work with me that I don't share anywhere else. So that's it for today. I believe in you. I hope that you exceed your goals. I believe that you can, that you will, that you have everything you need and everything it takes to get this done. I want you to be unapologetic, okay? You are a leader in the donor's life. Own that role. Own it. Just fully own it, and you will kick this goal's butt, okay? You're gonna kick the goal's butt. That's what you're gonna do. Thank you, Rhonda. Y'all are the best. Have an amazing day. I hope that this was helpful to you. And I'd love to know what your biggest takeaway was. So put that in the comments. Yeah, have a great day. Great job, everybody. I hope that this was so productive for you. Okay, that's it. Bye.